to no good, that cat. Just can't stand it unless she's doing something bad. Right, Phoenix? They're sneaking over there. That's your toys. You need that couch alone. Pain in the butt. You are such a troublemaker. Getting into shit all the time, I'm telling you. Stay out of stuff. Stay out of stuff, you turkey. Getting into shit. Getting into stuff. Getting in, making, causing trouble. Right, Sinsor? She's a troublemaker. Being a troublemaker. Now what? She act like she don't like it, but she does. She come back for more every single time. For a second, she'll be right back. Oh, she's gonna take her frustrations out on Sinsor because she's mad. Here she comes. Like I said, she's a troublemaker. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, 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 rah. I'm watching you. You know it, Phoenix. Oh, here she comes. Again. She acts like, yeah, I hear you down there, you troublemaker, you. Psh, 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 psh. Get her, Sinsor. That mean old prude. Look at that mean old troublemaker. Yeah. Ain't nothing even there on the carpet, and she come over there digging in front of her. She's a troublemaker. See, here she comes again. She acts like she don't like it. If she didn't like it, she didn't come over here. Right, Sinsor? Yeah, she's the good girl. Yeah. She's the good girl. She don't get into nothing. Yeah, here's the geek girl. Here's the geek girl. Here's the geek girl. Her don't get into nothing. Her don't get into nothing. She's a big old girl. Here's a big old girl. Yeah, she's a big old girl. Hey, tell everybody how we found Sinsor. Somebody dumped her in the apartments. How could they just leave my Sinsor to the road like that? Tossed her to the curb. Yeah. She's the biggest cuddle bug you ever want to see. So much for love. And they just dumped her. When we first got Sinsor, she was so thin. Yeah. You couldn't even see what color she was. She was so dirty. Her little feet were black. Her little ear tips were stained. Her nose. Yep. I put the trash out trying to clean the apartment. And when I went to go throw the trash away, she was out there trying to get a cheeky bone out of the trash. She was hungry. And I started putting food out for her every single night. And she was there at sunset every night. And she come back one night, it was raining. She was so dirty and covered in mud. And she was scared of me. She didn't want nothing to do with me, but she was there every night to eat. One night I went out there to put some food, and I said, Edie. And she turned around and she flopped at my feet, making the cutest little air biscuits, crying. Yep, she'd finally given in. We brought her in and cut all the knots out of her hair and gave her a bath. And it was around the time that I was trying to find out if she was pregnant or not. She hadn't been fixed, and she was pregnant with 2 kittens, and they were both deceased inside of her. And when I didn't know they were deceased, and when she tried to go give birth, one of them got stuck in the canal. And I tried calling vets, and nobody would help me. So the SPCA, they helped me. They took her in, and they did her surgery and had her fixed and help pull some of her teeth and all her shots. And I gave them part of the money, and I adopted her legally. But somebody did. They left her to the curb. She's one of the most loving cats I've ever had. And she was just really in bad shape. And she was probably about 2 years old when I got her. Yeah, she's my Sinsor. Yeah, she come in around a little bit after I had just lost Wiggles. And Phoenix, she was really heavy at one time, and she started starving herself after Wiggles passed away. She didn't know how to handle it. She was mourning the loss of my dog. Had that dog for 16 and a half years. It was just a shame I lost her. I still haven't been right since I lost my little pup. I loved that dog. She was my best friend, my companion. She went everywhere with me. It didn't matter. If my dog wasn't welcome, I wasn't welcome. But we took in Sinsor. Her name represents to purify. I spell it differently than what it's spelled, but Sinsor is the diffuser inside of the Catholic Church to chase away the evil spirits, to purify. And that's what her name represents. And for Phoenix, she's not just named after the state where we live. She's actually named after the bird that rises up out of the ashes, because she too, when I first found her, I went to step out of my door and I almost stepped on her. She was probably about 8 to 10 weeks old, and she was laying stretched out against the door frame. I didn't see her, and when I went to go walk, I almost stepped on her. She went to try to run, but she physically had no access to the back end her hind legs. She had no use of them. So she'd had vet care. Nothing was broken. And she had to physically learn to reuse her hind legs. And she too was fixed and legally adopted. Both cats been shot, had their shots microchipped. But Phoenix rose up past all her injuries to why that she got the name that she did. For red hair rising up past the ash of who she is. And she's scared of people. She don't like strange people, because whoever had her, when I went to pick her up, she just went completely limp in my hand. She was so scared, like she just submitted, like I was going to hurt her. And still to this day, it ruined her. She don't like strange people, because whoever had her hurt her. And I truly believe the guy behind me that was living there, you could hear through the wall sounding like they had a kitten. And I was like, oh my God, that's just what they needed, was another animal over there. Because this place was, you could hear everything in the next room. He had 2 dogs and a baby, a 2-year-old baby. And he literally would get the dogs pinned up against the wall and beat them. I'm talking beat them. And he would hit that dog and it would yelp. And before it could even get the next breath out, he had hit the dog again, knocking the wind out of the dog. And I can't tell you the mentality how that affected me listening to that over and over and over. And I'd called the Humane Society, called the law, and nobody would do anything. And he did the same to his kid. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear a thud and then the scream and F you, this and that, I'm going to kill you. Or he'd tell the kid, come here. And the kid would come and he could hear him slap him in the face. And you could, when you seen the kid's face was always all tore up and dirty. And they lived over there in squalor in this apartment. But finally, here a couple years ago, I think it's been about 2 years, they went in there just before Thanksgiving and they arrested him. I don't know where the mother went, if she'd been in jail or what happened, but he abused the animals, abused his dogs, abused his kid, and I seriously think that that's where Phoenix came from. So both Sinsor was dumped and Phoenix was abused and injured. So they both were adopted by me. They get a lot of love. They're well taken care of. They both have strong names. But this is part of the stories that I said that I was going to tell you about along the road with everything that we've been through. And losing my Wiggles, my dog, she was a 3-pound Chihuahua. And I'm telling you, I had that dog for 16 and a half years, and I just love her. She was my everything. And she was, her and Phoenix were bonded really well, companions. And like I said, when I lost Wiggles, she mourned her. She used to cry, walk through the house crying. And she got to the point she wasn't eating. So that's where around the time Sinsor came in, and it kind of filled an empty void with what was going through in our household with losing one animal and then regaining the other with people's nonsense and abuse to what they do to these animals, and they don't deserve to be treated that way. These animals have feelings, and they get hurt and scared, and they're just like people. Just because they're animals doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. And I love them just the way they are, the both of them. One's good and the other one's a little mischievous little turd. Anyway, this video's rounded out, and I've given you another story about my 2 cats, and I'm sure there'll be more along the way with all the healing and the things we went through with Phoenix and some of the stories about Sinsor. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to posting some more videos.